This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Thursday, May 27th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Stephanie and Erica. I almost forgot my name. Let's get right to it. Should be a good one. The long-awaited Friends Reunion special dropped early this morning on HBO Max, but some fans were left in the dark. After the HBO Go app crashed within minutes after the special kicked off, those who did watch said the show stayed on familiar ground by looking back at past episodes, but didn't address Matthew Perry's addiction issues he faced during the run of the show or the lack of diversity among the cast. Still, there were some definite buzzworthy moments, like when Lady Gaga and Lisa Kudrow jammed out to Smelly Cat. Let's watch.
Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Smelly cat, it's not
still think it's better when it's just me. It is.
David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston also dropped a bombshell about their off-screen relationship. Have a look.
I had a major crush on Jen. I think we both, at some point, we were both crushing hard on each other, but it was like two ships passing because one of us was always in a relationship. So, and we never crossed that boundary. You know, we respected that, but we both.
That was so shady. That was so shady.
Steph, you don't even care about Friends, but you like this little juicy piece of gossip.
Yeah, we all know that I'm like, whatever about Friends, but I like that. I was like, oh my gosh, because don't they play like on again, off again relationship,
Yes.
and then that's kind of what the reality was too. Dun, dun, dun.
I wonder if that would have hurt the chemistry of them on the show had they
I think
followed
so.
their feelings and started dating season 1.
I'm glad they didn't.
Yes,
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell that there was more than just acting there. Like
You
that
think?
Ross and Rachel thing, there was so much chemistry between the two of them. But I am a huge, huge proponent of not dating anyone that you work with.
We all know the
yes.
saying that you can't say on TV.
Yes,
Yes.
that has always, I mean, I have never had an issue, and especially being in morning radio, it was always like, you know, the morning radio guys, and all these girls would be like, how do you not? I'm like, I don't even look at him as a human. Like, he doesn't even exist in that realm to me. No, we here to get paid.
I love when you say morning radio guys, because I know exactly what you're talking about, and I just want to shout out like names and stuff. But I have to, that's internally me. But you think at one point David Schwimmer got to a point, he's like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. And he goes up there and she's like, I'm dating Brad Pitt. And he's like, well, I lost my chance.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then that run happened and that was that.
No, I don't care enough about like the show because they were together on the show, but if they had also been together in real life, I think that's a bit of juicy gossip.
You love the gossip.
I like the gossip.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. All right, guys. Kim K is dealing with a setback in becoming a lawyer. In a new clip from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim confesses that she failed the baby bar. So the baby bar, it's the law exam first-year students are required to take in California in order to continue their studies. Let's watch.
You needed a 560, you got a 474. That's extremely close on a test that most people are not taking in the middle of a pandemic.
I am a failure.
You're not a failure, Kim.
I spent, 6 weeks straight, 10 to 12 hours a day studying, and it was so important for me to take this, and to not pass gets your spirit down and just makes you want to give up.
Aww.
Do you think she'll give up?
No.
Especially if she's putting it out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's even more drive.
Well, that's very brave. I mean, because people really question her intentions and question her capabilities. So for her to include that in the storyline is big. Now, I personally understand this because I had to take the Earth and its planets 3 times at DePaul University because I failed it twice. It's very frustrating. You get in your head when you're like, especially when you're retaking something and you know that you failed it once, it makes you, I don't know, you just get in your head about it.
Since we're being honest, I got my real estate license back in Chicago, but the first time I took it, I failed. And I was like, how do you fail a real estate test? And I really studied hard. I went back and I got it. Never used it, but I passed that test.
Yay! I love that. No, I think this is amazing because so often we're so used to the Kardashians always being so perfect, they give off this image of nothing's ever wrong, even when things are literally in flames behind them and we can see the flames, but they're like, no. But I love that she said this and that she was so open, and she actually posted on her Instagram as well just yesterday. She had a bit of time and she was like, ask me anything, and people asked about the baby bar and what happened. So she can retake it in June. So good luck, Kim.
There you go. I think she's going to do it too.
I think she'll do it.
Coming up on DBL, we're chatting with Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, how she's dedicating her life to fighting the stigma of mental health. And from the terrifying Momo challenge to the reason why no one ever dies at Disney, we're uncovering terrifying internet urban legends in the Jeff Files.
Closed captioning provided by...
It's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You just pick out your item. With fewer COVID cases in the U.S., a lot of us are eager to start traveling again. But flying the friendly sky can also bring anxiety. So how can you ease those concerns? Let's connect the dots. A pandemic-weary public has made it clear what they want to do next: travel. But for some, the idea of getting on a crowded plane and staying in strange hotels is a little overwhelming after all we've been through. Mental health professionals even have a name for it: re-entry anxiety. They report both vaccinated and unvaccinated people are expressing concerns about returning to in-person activities. So what can you do about it? First things first, if you have extreme anxiety, contact a medical professional. But if you are simply worried or feeling unsafe, there are some things you can try. Experts recommend exposure therapy, allowing you to ease back into situations. The key to this is to start off slowly. That means if you are worried about restaurants in a strange city, try going out to one in your hometown that you are comfortable with. If a long plane ride is the issue, try a shorter trip first. If a big hotel with a crowded lobby is your concern, you can book an Airbnb. Experts also recommend accepting that you will feel anxious. Just acknowledging that anxiety is expected and normal can bring comfort. And that's connecting the dots on travel anxiety.
Welcome back to DBL. The internet is filled with urban myths that have lived on for years. Some of them are almost too creepy to believe. I chat with internet sleuths Loie Lane and Eleanor Snitchery to dive deeper in today's Jeff Files. Loie Lane and Snitchery, thank you for coming on DBL. Now, you guys are known as the Gruesome Twosome and hosts of the podcast Internet Urban Legends, the latest Spotify original from Parcast. Now, let's dive into one of the biggest internet myths, the Watcher House.
When a New Jersey family moved into a new home, they began receiving disturbing letters.
The first time I read the letters, I got goosebumps. I've never seen anything like it outside of kind of a horror movie.
This family in New Jersey bought their dream home, then started getting creepy letters, and the letters mention weird things like blood and secrets in the basement. And this watcher claims he told the last family to move out.
One letter saying, "All of the windows and doors allow me to watch you and track you as you move through the house."
You guys looked into this. What's going on, and why is the internet so invested in this one?
There, we did an entire podcast episode, of course, on it, and it's still like, I don't think that anyone can fully understand what is going on with the Watcher House. But essentially, this family buys their dream house, starts doing renovations on it, and they start getting like these weird, threatening letters from someone, basically telling them that they're messing up the integrity of the home, and they've been watching the home for decades and decades. It's just like everyone's worst nightmare, I think. Like moving into a house and finding out that it comes with a built-in stalker.
Yeah.
I think it's a real estate hoax. Okay, I think it's a real estate hoax.
That's
I'm
good.
so convinced they are suing the previous owners. And this is my other theory. This is a little tinfoil hatty, but bear with me. This town, Westfield, is known for two things and two things only. There's the infamous murder that we talked about on the podcast in the 70s, and it's where the Addams Family creator was born. It's a spooky town. A little part of me thinks that this might be part of a collective tourist trap.
I'm with you. I think that's a good theory, but I just bought a new home, and if I had a letter about ghosts and blood in the basement, I would move out. So guys, let's talk about the Momo challenge because it went viral years ago. We even talked about it on this show.
Online people are claiming this thing pops up in children's YouTube videos. It is a hoax.
It was nuts, and sadly, a young girl died over this. Police had to issue warnings on Facebook, and even Kim Kardashian posted pleading for YouTube to remove it. You talked about it on the Urban Legend podcast. Why were so many people convinced this was real?
I think because it came from kids. The kids thought it was real, right? Like, I think kids are easier to convince. So collectively, the adults maybe bought into it. It's also genuinely a scary image. And the virality of the internet kind of lends itself to something like that being taken seriously. And obviously, it was catalyzed by a real life tragedy. So it makes sense that people would be protective over children. That one's really scary though, and really bizarre.
I couldn't agree more. Let's talk about one more internet myth because I haven't heard about this one. It's called No One Dies at Disney, and you explore a theory that the big mouse doesn't want people to know. What is this all about?
They literally will like cart your body off park premises before allowing you to be declared dead because they can't ruin the sanctity and purity of Disney. That is so bizarre.
And the idea that we could all be at a theme park and there could just be someone who has in fact passed away for one reason or another, but like they won't be pronounced dead until they're at the hospital because Disney doesn't want the liability. It's really weird. And it makes you remember that even though it is the big mouse, he is the face of the corporation, it's still like a crazy corporation.
Yeah, is that real? So if someone has a heart attack, I don't even know if I could say now. You got me all worried about legalizing things. Disneyland, can I say Disneyland? If someone has a heart attack there, they won't pronounce them dead till they're off the grounds?
Yeah, they'll like cart them away. Even if they're fully dead in the park, they will not admit to it.
You guys, I could talk to you guys all day about this stuff, but unfortunately, we're out of time. Loey and Snitchery, thank you guys so much for coming on DBL and DBL Nation. You can listen to their podcast, Internet Urban Legends, exclusively on Spotify. Thanks again, guys. That was fun. I love that stuff. You guys know I love that stuff. I listen to their podcast. I check it out. They do a good job.
What's been your favorite thing that you've heard from them so far that you were like, whoa?
Well, the thing I learned about Disney, again, I'm a little worried about the lawsuits happening, but I didn't know that about Disney. And apparently you heard about this. You don't have to go into detail, but you also heard about. Did you ever hear about Nobody Dies at Disney?
I had never heard that, but my grandmother did have a heart attack at Disney.
Was she okay?
Yeah, she actually ended up, she ended up getting to the airport, but it started there. She got on a ride she shouldn't have been on. But yeah, she did recover.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
Aww. There you go.
I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it on the good news part. All right, we'll be back with Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child. Don't go away.
Cheers to you, the DBL family. Look, as a matter of fact, guys, make sure you let the team know I'm thinking about changing my middle name, Chef Jannard DBL Wells.
Oh, we're here for it.
Yes, we know Michelle Williams as 1/3 of the iconic girl group Destiny's Child, but what many people don't know is that she's fighting depression and using her voice to promote mental health. We spoke with her earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Michelle, welcome to DBL.
Hey, hey.
Thank y'all for having me. What's going on?
Girl, before we get into everything, I have to congratulate you on your book, because I have to tell you that your transparency will save lives. Your advocacy for mental health awareness will save lives. So first and foremost, thank you for that.
Thank you so much for those kind words. That's really, that's my mission now, is to make impact, inspire, and to empower, and to let people know they're not alone and it's okay to get some help.
Amen. Treatment works. I can thank Zoloft on live TV for helping me. You just celebrated you just celebrated the 20th anniversary of your hit album and song Survivor with Destiny's Child. Why is that song so special to you? And then we'll get back to your book.
Well, now, if somebody definitely brought that to my attention, they were like, actually, it's our publicist. We still all have the same publicist. We share the same publicist. And she brought it to my attention saying, Michelle, this is 20 years of Survivor, and now your book comes in the same year. I was like, wow, the stars have aligned, and it's a reminder of everything I've gone through, how I've survived, and I'm thriving. And to everybody out there, y'all were from the era of Survivor too. And hopefully, you're doing your dream job of every day touching somebody's lives in the form of media.
Amen.
Michelle, I'm a father of two, and you and Beyonce were there via Zoom when Kelly Rowland gave birth to her son, Noah. So,
oh, yeah.
What was that like? And do you guys plan on getting together anytime soon and talking about that?
You know what? We've gotten together since then. We were able to get together in person. Our COVID tests were negative, and we was like, all right, let's sneak in and see this baby. I thought that was a true testament of our sisterhood. Aww. And what an intimate moment that Kelly allowed us to view and lurk in. Zoom is one big lurk fest. Everybody's like,
That experience is crazy.
Yeah,
I know firsthand.
I know.
The people that look at you and are like, you're in maybe one of the best groups of all time. How can you have depression and anxiety? So why don't you talk to them? Why don't you tell them when you first realized that, wait a second, something's not right here. I might have a problem.
Actually, it was in the 7th grade. So for everybody saying, ooh, Destiny's Child caused depression, Hollywood caused her depression. No. It was something that I had been dealing with since the 7th grade. I just didn't get a diagnosis until I was in my 30s. But in 7th grade, I knew something wasn't rocking right. I was tired. My grades were dropping. I was just wanting to isolate. And I was like, that's not like me in the past. And sure enough, those were symptoms of depression. But in the 7th grade, depression wasn't even in my word bank at that time. I knew that I was in health education classes, and I was like, well, maybe it's puberty. We've been talking about that lately. You know how a person, you like, ooh, they really overreacted. It's something else that they're really reacting to. And it was at that moment that I definitely was like, you got to process this pain and trauma you're dealing with.
Amen. Yeah, there's nothing like the exhaustion of depression, right? You can't even compare it. I want to bring up a fact that there was a part in your book that absolutely sent shivers up and down my spine, where you talked about that you started to plan your own funeral.
Oh my goodness.
Looking back, what were you going through, and how did you finally get help?
I began to feel unsafe with me, and I was getting too comfortable with the idea of suicide. And how comfortable I was to even say, you know what, I want white orchids, I want this scripture read. And now I still want white orchids, but 50 years from now.
Right.
That's on record.
Yeah,
and being an advocate for mental health, like I said, you are saving lives. We need to.
Sam, I'm getting regular segment vibes.
We need
right
to have more of her. So DBL Nation, get your copy of Michelle's life-saving new book, Checking In. We appreciate you, Michelle, and all your transparency. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Mosquito season is here. That means mosquito bites are back. Willie Anderson sent this question to the Verify team.
If a mosquito bites a person that has COVID-19, will that mosquito be able to pass COVID-19 to a person that does not have COVID-19?
With Verify, we want to make sure you know who our sources are first. We spoke with Dr. Mo Razai. She is an internal medicine physician for Fort Worth Primary Care. We also talked to Dr. Michael Levy, an epidemiologist at the University of Pennsylvania's School of Medicine. COVID-19 is a respiratory virus, meaning it's passed through the air. A mosquito is an insect. It doesn't have lungs, but it breathes through its exoskeleton, so it can't spread a virus through the air.
The mechanism of the COVID transmission, which is airborne or droplets, so it kind of doesn't go along with how it actually transmits and propagates.
When a mosquito does pass a virus to a human, it comes from a bite or the insect's salivary glands. But COVID-19 can't replicate inside the mosquito.
There'd be no way for the virus to get from a mosquito's gut if a mosquito did somehow pick it up back into another person.
Not only that, but experts tell us since a mosquito can survive long enough on the blood from a single bite, it is very unlikely for it to immediately bite someone else. So we can verify. Mosquitoes cannot spread COVID-19 if they bite a person who is already infected.
Welcome back to DBL. Earlier I showed Tori some amazing products at even better prices. Here's this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com.
What do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey Tori, I'm here with some great products and deals for you guys. So first up, I have something that will help you relax after a long day on your feet. It's the Viva Spa Shiatsu Air Pressure Foot Massager with 360-degree heat. Normally, it's as much as $199. We've got it for only $79, saving up to 60%.
That's what I like. Y'all needing the arch and soles of your feet will touch your actual sole.
Okay, now Tori, giving your skin some extra love and hydration is never a bad thing. So that's where the Caroline Chew anti-aging face and neck serum set comes in handy. So this set is a concentrated complexion brightening treatment that will help soothe irritated skin and reduce dark spots.
Ooh, that's what I have.
Normally, it's as much as $145.
Ugh.
I know. We've got it for only $39, saving up to 73%.
Oh, I love a good steal on a complexion.
Next up, I've got the perfect items to help you get from A to B, no matter where your trip is taking you. It's the Ivory Ella by Conair Diamond Mosaic Tote and Weekender.
Ooh.
So normally this is as much as $80.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got it for only $29. Saving up to 64%.
Oh, you can put all the savings in the bag.
Okay, last, now that the warmer weather is here, finally, it's time to bring out the ice and pour your favorite drinks by the pool.
Ooh.
And this 2-pack Cambridge 20-ounce insulated Americana tumblers are what everyone needs. So normally these is as much as $52. I know, but we've got them for only $24, saving up to 70%.
Show your patriotism and keep your drinks cold and safe. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Steph, as always, you are the savings wizard. Thank you so much. Not savings wizard.
I know. When Tori said to me, I'm the savings wizard, it's true. I mean, you know, Wingardium Leviosa, nothing appeared. Oh.
Ooh, that was pretty good, though, that you just pulled that out. I was thinking more
Harry
of like...
Potter.
I know. I was thinking more cheesy mattress commercials. You know what I mean? Like, you're the savings wizard. But yours was way better. I should have went first, and then you should have pulled out the spell. What are you going to do? Great savings from the saving wizard. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thank you.